So good day, everyone. This is such an amazing time in our lives. And we here at Pro are constantly uncovering things to know right now. Thanks to our readers and our support group attendees who are sending gratitude notes for the special work we are doing, as well as sending in their suggestions for topics. We will continue to do these sessions as long as we can. Please keep in mind that PRO is a 501c3 charity, and we're a charity business that needs funds. So please remember to donate what you can and do what you can to help us continue. The word mindfulness is used often these days, but does anybody really know what that means? So I'm Jo Rosen, president of Parkinson's Resource Organization, and I'm bringing to you today things to know right now. Our wellness village on our website is filled with vetted by us products and services that you can rely on and are used in the Parkinson's world. And today I'm excited to be introducing to you Roger Moore, the man behind Palm Desert Hypnosis, who has been in our wellness village since September of 2019. So many of our constituents are raving about the help that he's been giving them at our once a month meetings called Mindfulness Focused Group that are currently on summer break. But he has been super helpful and can help you after hearing today's conversation with him. So Roger, thank you for joining us today. And could you please tell the audience just a little bit about you?
Well, thank you, Jo, and it's always my honor to be with you, and I just love sharing time with you and being in your presence, and to just totally support Pro and all that you do there. I've been a counselor for over 50 years in a wide variety of settings, the last 26 some years in private practice for myself and working as a medical hypnotherapist, which means that the issues that I work with are primarily medical related.
Terrific. So first, I just want to say thank you for helping PRO to the greatest extent that you do. It's just really, it's magnificent, not just for the organization, but for all of those who come to the monthly meetings. I hear it all the time, this profound help that you've been giving to them.
Oh, good.
And I think our audience really wants to know, what is hypnosis?
It depends on who you ask, because everybody's going to have a different answer. Okay. And, the old textbooks would tell you some old, mostly nonsense, but the current thought today is what most of us teach, and what I certainly tell all my clients and teach all my students, is hypnosis is learning to take control of the trance that you're in. We're always in a trance. We're never not in a trance. People are in stress trances and worry trances and I'm sick trances and, woe is me, ain't it awful, all that stuff. Those are all trances. And hypnosis is learning how to get out of those trances, back in your body, where your feet in the floor, your seat in the chair, where breath and breathing being in your body, in the space of right now, I'm okay. The past isn't happening, the future isn't happening, but right here.
So this might be a redundant question then, but see what you can do with it. I have watched you work with people with Parkinson's who were tremendously tremorous, or they had a frozen gait. I've also watched and listened to you take care of caregivers of people with Parkinson's who are in distress from anxiety or depression. How do you describe what you do for them? Because you can do that in minutes.
Let's try it in reverse for a second. Jo, if you'd play with me, can you think of something really stressful?
Sure.
And when you think of something stressful, what changes within you? What do you notice?
You probably noticed it immediately. My face changed.
What happened to your breathing?
Yeah, it got really shallow. Yeah.
And up here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for saying that, because I just breathed.
Okay. And what happened when you did that?
Well, so the whole body kind of relaxed, and went into a different position and the face changed. I can tell you that partly because I'm looking at me, but the other part of it is because I could feel the changes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of what I do in much more depth and detail. But when somebody is having significant tremors, or when they're frozen, my experience with them is they've always been in a state of fear, of fight and flight, very understandably so. Okay, I can only imagine how frightening that would be. And so my goal, starting out initially, is to help them to get back to breathing again, getting breath, getting their body to relax. Because once they start doing that, then the tremors start lightening up, or they're able to start moving. And then I start talking with their unconscious mind or their subconscious mind, and always with their permission, giving them suggestions about the tremors being able to just slow down or maybe completely stop, or how the body can now start moving instead of being frozen. But giving those direct suggestions. But the first initial part, and that is perhaps the most significant and most noticeable, is getting them out of this state and getting them to be able to relax. And that can happen really quickly. And when you saw how quickly you were able to go into fear, and then how quickly you were able to relax.
Yeah. So
Well,
go ahead. I mean, I just need to tell the audience that it was incredibly awesome to watch you with a person who not only was tremendously tremorous, had dyskinesia, was moving all over the place, and the gait was frozen. And this was out when we were doing in-person support groups. And I know you can do this on Zoom meetings as well. But I just couldn't believe, nor could the audience that was there, how quickly this person settled down and was able to participate in that meeting for the rest of the meeting.
So I remember that very well, because I was talking and I was distracted. I was afraid she was going to fall out of her chair. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you jumped in and said, "Here, I'll take over. You go see her." And it was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, together we do an incredible job with the Parkinson's world and with any world. And that's another reason I'm so proud and pleased to work with you, because we really do good things. And I know the audience wants to hear that, but more than that, they want to know kind of like, how do you do it and how do they find you and that kind of thing. We might delve into that a little bit, Roger, but I just want to tell everybody before we get too far that there's always a way to find you through Parkinson's Resource Organization. You have on our website a page in our Wellness Village. And so anybody can get to you from our website directly, anywhere from wherever they are in the world or wherever you are in the world.
Right.
They can reach you. And so I need to tell them, number one, that. I need to tell them that once a month during the so-called season, that you do a mindfulness focused group for us, which happens to be free of charge because of you, and how awesome that is, because it's one of our best attended meetings that we have, which is really incredible. But that means how much help that you've been giving them. And that just warms my heart. But on the website, you just went in a little bit about how you teach them to breathe and talk them kind of into the now, if you will. You have a tool that happens to be on our website that I'd love you to talk about, called Orange Blossom. That's one of the first thing I want to talk about. I've got several things to talk, but tell us a little bit about Orange Blossom.
Orange Blossom is a 27-minute hypnosis relaxation MP3 that has somewhere, the counter quit working and a few years ago, but based on past approximation, somewhere around 113, 115,000 downloads that I'm aware of, plus people to share it all the time. And it's free. And the original intent for Orange Blossom was to sit back, relax, and just de-stress. But every week I get emails from somewhere in the world. I go to sleep with you every night. People wake up and can't go back to sleep. They put on Orange Blossom. People crawl in bed, put in their earbuds or on their sound system and listen to Orange Blossom and fall asleep. It's rare for somebody to make it through the entire thing without dozing. It's also used in oncology centers when people are receiving chemo radiation. It's used in surgical centers. There's surgical centers where people put in their earbuds and during surgery, they're listening to Orange Blossom. Number of dentists' office have it in their soundtracks. It's
kind of brings up another thought, and that is that you work in combination with physicians and dentists and other professionals to keep the patient, if you will. In our case, we call them constituents, but to keep them on target, if you will. So you want to just address a little bit about that?
Thank you for pointing that out, because the work I do is very much integrated. In other words, I don't ever want to be a replacement for their doctor. Okay. I work hand in hand with many doctors and pain doctors that refer their clients to me, and we compare notes, and I've been in the radiation booths at oncology centers talking people through radiation, and I work with and support of, not instead of. And so the things that I do are supporting people with Parkinson's with the work that they're doing with their medical team.
On a non-invasive, no less basis.
And there's no side effects.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Other than improvement.
There are two other gifts that are on the website that people need to know about, because you have, for a nominal fee, and I must say this, totally nominal, you have something called Hypnosis for Parkinson's disease that are some MP3 downloads. And then you have something that's relatively new. And when I say relatively new, that could be 3 years old. But relatively new would be a book that you've written, that you've authored. There you go. See, you can show it to us, and you can get that through our website. But tell us a little bit about both the MP3 downloads and the book.
Well, the MP3 downloads are scripts that I've written and recorded, and they're recipes basically for what I might do with somebody in a hypnosis session when I'm working one-on-one, and when we're online together, doing a session together. I very much tailor make it to the person. And then if I'm working with that person, I send them the similar recording, like control room or whatever it might be. I send that to them at no charge, so they have that support. They don't have the personalization part of it, but the basics, the structure is there, and I teach them how they can make it their own. Okay?
Oh, wow. And so that brings up another question. So people use you one-on-one, meaning they can contact you, set up an appointment with you to work through whatever for an hour, do whatever you think that they need, or together. Is there a charge for that? And if there is it covered by insurance?
There is a charge, and it's $200 per session. First session's 90 minutes, or all others are 55 minutes.
And how much per session?
$200.
Okay, all right.
And insurance will almost never pay for it unless they have an HSA account. And Medicaid will never pay for it.
Wow, okay. All right. That's really sad, isn't it?
Sometimes VA will reimburse them.
Okay. That, it's just kind of a sad commentary on our system, because something that could be so helpful, so medicinal in a very quiet way, not covered by insurance. It does really make any sense when we say health care. Just my thoughts. But
there are studies that show that one 15-minute session of hypnosis will cut surgery cost by about $800. You'd think the insurance company would latch onto that. But.
Yeah. Well, we don't run that part of the world yet, so no. But we'll keep thinking about it. So I want to tell the audience that this is a man who I'm very proud to know, but you can find him not only on the Wellness Village on our website, but watch the newsletter that is a monthly newsletter, because he occasionally will produce an article about some of the work that he's doing. And you will find that in the newsletter on the website, but you'll also find that on the website because the newsletter has become the blog to the website. But then there's another place where you can have your own opportunity to ask him whatever questions you want. So pay attention to your inbox because we have something called village meetings that are currently on sabbatical for summer break, but they'll resume again in September. And when Roger does his portion of the village meetings, you can not only listen to him, but again, graciously and gratefully, you get to ask him the questions that you want to have. That doesn't preclude you from asking him questions now either, in the sense that you can send an email to info@parkinsonsresource.org and we'll get the question to him, write to him through his Wellness Village page or however you want to, but we'll make sure that he gets your information and that you get his. So please feel free to reach out and get this incredibly and wonderful support that maybe you didn't even know existed for people with Parkinson's or for people who are dealing with the caregivers who this is a stressful time in our lives, but it's also a disease that creates stress because for the caregivers, we can't fix it. For the person with Parkinson's, they're frustrated by how they live with it. And just all of those things are what Roger Moore can help you with. I've watched it. I know it. And I invite you to try to get your own concerns and issues covered by reaching out to Roger. Is there anything else you might like to add?
Just that I think in the Wellness Village, I'll also find my phone number. Feel free to call me. And if you send an email, it's helpful if you include your phone number so that I can call you back because it's simpler to answer your questions talking than it is a million emails going back and forth.
Yes, the tone is different, isn't it?
It is. I'd rather talk, right?
Yeah. So summer is being good to you, I hope. And so I want to say to our audience, you can find him. There'll be information at the bottom of this video that takes you to his Wellness Village page. Please take that information down or click on it, however that worked. And Roger, I'm so grateful again for the work that you do for the community and for being in my sphere of influence. And so until, ladies and gentlemen, until the next things to know right now, as our friend Dolly Parton would say, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. And so please think about adjusting your sails. And if you have any issues or difficulty in adjusting those sails, please reach out to Roger Moore and get some solace and get some ease in your life and go forward with the greatest quality of life possible. Thank you so much for today, Roger.
Thank you, Joe.
And thank you to all of you who listened today. Have a great summer. We'll talk soon.